Funnily enough, this time frame, 8 to 10 minutes a day, comes up a lot online. So I did a bit of research, and what are people asking about in terms of their language learning? And this was one thing that came up again and again and again. So absolutely, if you've watched the other video, this will obviously repeat a little bit, but 8 to 10 minutes a day is great. Yeah. There shouldn't be any worry in terms of how long you spend on Spanish every day. You don't actually need to be learning every day. There might be people who tell you that you absolutely have to be in touch with the Spanish every day, or you're really not getting the most out of it. Absolute nonsense. There are loads of people who speak a language, who've learned a language, who haven't had time every day, or have gone days and weeks between lessons. Of course, you don't need to worry about the specifics of this. So very specific questions like this, and there may be some more that I have to deal with. I really want you to understand part of my ethos is that there are no hard and fast rules about how you should be learning a language. Your situation is very specific to you. And if other people are doing something else, you can't, or you shouldn't rather, I know it's easy, you shouldn't let that affect the way you feel about yourself and how you're learning. Habits are really important though. So with this idea of 8 to 10 minutes, if you can swap 8 to 10 minutes of scrolling on your phone for 8 to 10 minutes of Spanish, then that's a positive habit. So if you want to think of it that way, then that could be a really good, powerful motivator. Now, I know along this 8 to 10 minutes of scrolling turns into a lot more, but all of these things that you want to do with your life. And when I talk about my course, and when I've talked about people buying my course and the value of it, I've spoken to them about all of the things that they do every day that add up over the course of a year or 2 years. And what is that worth to them? What does it give them? What does it add in terms of value to their lives? If you change a little habit and can swap out 8 to 10 minutes of something else that's not doing much for you for a bit of Spanish, as long as you remember the really important points of making sure it's enjoyable for you and that you're positive and that you want to learn and you don't feel as though you have to, then 8 to 10 minutes is plenty. I would say that, well, most of the lessons on my course are between 30 minutes to just over an hour. And it depends on what we're doing that particular day. I have no hard and fast rules, no timeline to go for. I taught and I asked them questions. It really was a free roaming, free range course, and I adapted to them. And I didn't require a certain amount of time from them. And sometimes one of them couldn't make it to a recording, and our twice a week schedule turned into twice a month. It doesn't matter. Okay. Their progress was not halted by the fact that life got in the way. So 8 to 10 minutes, you can do an absolute wonder with it. Consistency beats intensity any day. So make sure that you have a consistent feeling or approach towards your language learning. You do not have to necessarily be consistent in when you do it or how long you do it. That's far less important. It's less important to me as your teacher, and it shouldn't be as much of a burden as it could be for you as a student. You need to just make sure that you're using the time that's available to you and not putting too much pressure on yourself. So as I always say, you've got to enjoy what you're doing, otherwise it makes no sense. Why are you doing it if you're not enjoying it? You're going to get more out of it if it's fun, and if you bear in mind that there will be steps along the way that you find tricky, you're going to make a load of mistakes. I want you to embrace those mistakes, enjoy them, and make sure that any of these numbers that are floated around about what you should be able to achieve or what you should be doing, that you essentially do not have to worry about any of that, and you apply everything to your situation.